keep doing that.
Moss is part of a group that we call non-vascular plants, meaning it doesn't have the usual plumbing that trees and shrubs have. The xylem and the phloem, those structures that help it to get water and sediments up into the plant. So because it doesn't have that plumbing, it needs to be quite small. So it hangs around on the soil. That's why most mosses are very, very small.
A bit of moss growing here at the moment. It's really...
Yeah, this moss.
Yeah, and it is a bit like a pest. Like it comes and then I high pressure hose it off and then it kind of disappears and then it comes back again. So yeah, a lot like a pest.
Yeah, it does come back.
Just have this really clean environment.
I see.
I just can't get rid of it. It's just really
Very green.
I need to get the gurney.
Maybe a slip or a trip hazard as well. And on top of that, it will slowly, very slowly degrade any surface that it is on.
Our big surprise was the huge effect that they're having on soils. And we often underestimate this because not many people have really thought about mosses, not on the global scale. They're pioneers. They're occupying a space that's not occupied by other plants. So leave those mosses there. Eventually, when situations change, the garden will change and those mosses will be overtaken by what we call vascular plants.
So you were, going back to the initial question.
And basically, there are a lot of these mosses, not this one in particular, are only about 1 cell thick, and they vary in size between roughly 0.2 centimetres and 10 centimetres, with the tallest moss in the world getting to about 50 centimetres in height. Wow. So you can think of this as almost a mini forest. Pest damage?
Yeah, a bit of pest damage, I think. But that's
look at
not
that.
yeah.
So good luck flame throwing that. It is, I'd say the sandstone probably holds on to a little bit. Yep.
But you see when you go to the national park.
No, I didn't know any of that. I feel a bit bad that I want to get rid of it.
You should.
But again, I spent a lot of money on this sandstone, so I think I still will get the high pressure hose out and give it a
I think you should second think that approach, as this is a very important piece of biodiversity in your garden. And being that it spreads via spore as opposed to seed, like many other plants, it may be quite futile in your attempt to remove this entirely.
Yeah, it looks better already.
So mosses are really setting up the system for other plants to basically restore degraded soils. If you've seen moss growing on the soil, you know that there's not a lot of erosion. Things are pretty stable. But it also changes the chemistry of the soil. It changes the phosphorus, changes the carbon and the nitrogen. And our study showed that mosses actually store 6.43 billion, that's billion, tonnes more carbon than soils without mosses or without plants. So mosses are doing an amazing job by actually sequestering all that CO2 from the atmosphere and embedding it in the soil. They're part of this system that helps to keep our ecosystem clean, healthy and fertile.
Yeah, Yeah, just say moss basically so that I know when I read it.
moss.
We'd like to look now at the importance of mosses in urban systems, how we might use them to restore degraded urban environments, and really I'm hoping to educate the public about how important mosses are for sustaining healthy urban ecosystems.